You love them deeply, truly, no doubt about it. But there are nights when you sit, after everyone is asleep, and you look at the mess that only you will clean up, and the bills that only you will pay, and the snacks that only you will prepare, and you cry. Not because you don't love them, but because love shouldn't hurt like this, shouldn't be so exhausting, shouldn't be so isolating. This is Renata's story, 40 years old, married for 16 years, 3 children, and a question that she couldn't answer. If I love them so much, why do I feel so alone? Renata did everything, literally everything. She woke up first, she went to sleep last, and in between, she was the engine, invisible, tireless, essential, but exhausted, deeply exhausted. And worse than tiredness, it was loneliness, of being surrounded but isolated, loved but unseen, necessary but not valued. And one night, after cleaning the house, alone, again, she thought something that scared her. I love my family, but I don't know if I can take it anymore, being the only one, holding everything together. You love your family, but are you dying inside? From exhaustion, from loneliness, from invisibility? This is for you. Before love turns into resentment, and resentment destroys what you fought so hard to build. You love, but are exhausted from being the only one who cares? Sign up now, because here we talk about the pain that no one sees, the pain of loving alone within a family full of people. Renata was driving, coming back from the market, alone, as always, because shopping with family was stressful, so she went alone, faster, more efficient, more lonely. And on the way, a song played about love and family and happiness, and Renata cried right there in traffic because the song described a happy family, united, collaborative, and that wasn't hers. Hers was functional, surviving, but not collaborative, because collaboration requires more than one person, and Renata was one, doing the work of 3, for 16 years. She arrived home, carried groceries, alone, 8 bags, 3 trips, husband in the living room, watching TV, children in their rooms, playing, and nobody got up to help. Not because they were bad, but because they didn't see Renata doing it. It was scenery, constant, invisible, expected. She put away the groceries, made dinner, called everyone, and while they ate, talking, laughing, connected, Renata looked and thought, I am here with them, but not with them. I am serving, not participating, and nobody notices. What a difference. Renata tried to remember when it became like this. In the beginning, marriage was a partnership. Her husband helped. They shared tasks, not perfectly, but they shared them. The first child was born, and the division became unbalanced. You breastfeed, so it's easier for you to work nights. You're on leave, I'm working. You're a mother, it's natural. And Renata accepted it temporarily, but temporary became permanent. Second child, same pattern. Third, crystallized. And Renata was CEO of the house, of the family, of everything. Unpaid, unvalued, unrested, just necessary. She also worked part-time to help with the bills, but her work was seen as complementary, not essential, even though she contributed 40% of the income, and at home she contributed 90% of the work, and nobody saw the imbalance, because imbalance was normal, expected, invisible. A therapist, whom Renata began seeing after panic attacks, asked her to do an exercise. List everything that you do in a week. Everything. Renata listed, and the list was devastating. Waking up the children, making coffee, preparing lunches, taking them to school, working, picking them up from school, helping with homework, making dinner, bathing them, putting them to bed, washing dishes, tidying the house, doing laundry, ironing clothes, paying bills, making doctor's appointments, taking them to doctors, buying gifts for family birthdays, organizing parties, answering school papers, managing the entire family calendar, and much more. The therapist looked. And your husband? Renata thought. He works full-time and helps sometimes. Helps how? Plays with the children, weekends, takes them to soccer Saturdays, has barbecues when there are visitors. So he does enjoyable things, and you, maintenance. Yes, but he works more hours. Paid work, yes, but you work 24 hours between paid work and domestic work. He works 40 hours, paid, and considers the others help. You work 80 hours, total, and you still hear that he helps. And there, Renata saw the imbalance, glaring, unsustainable, deadly. There was a night that broke Renata. Dinner, she made it, served it, everyone ate, got up, and left. Living room, bedrooms, bathroom, and Renata, she stayed, with a full table, dirty dishes, a messy kitchen. She looked, and something broke inside, silent but definitive. She didn't clean, didn't tidy up, didn't wash. She just sat and waited. An hour passed. Nobody came back. "Mom, where's my blouse?" A shout from the bedroom. 2 hours. "Honey, is there dessert?" Husband from the living room. 3 hours. Renata still sitting, surrounded by mess. And nobody had come to ask, "Are you okay?" Because Renata being okay was scenery, expected. And Renata broken was invisible, ignored. She got up, went to the bedroom, locked the door, and cried for hours, sobbing into a pillow so nobody would hear, because even crying needed to be silent, so as not to disturb family, whom she loved, but who didn't see her dying, slowly, there, in the middle of them. The next morning, Renata woke up different, not better, different, determined. She called her husband. "I need to talk, seriously." He came, suspicious. "What is it?" "I'm drowning, and you're on the shore, watching, and you won't jump, and I can't take it anymore." "What are you talking about?" "Yesterday, I made dinner, alone. I served it, alone. And when they finished, they got up, left everything, and went. And I stayed, with the mess, alone, again. And I sat and waited 3 hours to see if someone would notice that I wasn't okay. Nobody noticed." Her husband felt uncomfortable. "You should have asked for help." And there, Renata exploded. "Ask for help? Ask? I need to ask so you can see that your house is dirty, that your children need a bath, that your dishes are in the sink? Ask? Why do I need to ask, and you never need to? Because you don't see, or because you see and ignore knowing that I will do it?" The husband remained silent for a long time, processing, and finally he spoke. "I didn't realize it was so heavy." And Renata, tired, replied, "And you know why? Because I carry it well. I carry it so well that it seems light. It seems easy. It seems natural. And you assume that if it seems easy, it's because it is. But it isn't. It never was. I only pretend so as not to overburden you, while I drown in tasks that should be ours, not mine. What do you want me to do? I don't want you to do anything. I want you to see what you have to do, and do it without me asking, without me reminding, without me managing. Because managing you, doing your part, is more work for me, not less." The husband swallowed. "I didn't know. And that's the problem. You didn't know, because you never needed to know, because I always did. And doing things invisibly becomes expected, and expected becomes an obligation. An obligation kills love, respect, partnership. And I love you, still, but I don't know for how long I can love someone who doesn't see me." The therapist suggested concrete action. Do this. Take the list, the one you made, divide it equally with your husband, and present it, not as a request, as a fair division of shared responsibilities. Renata did. They sat down, again, list on the table. This is everything that I do alone weekly. Now let's divide it. Half and half. You choose half and take responsibility completely. Without me managing, without me remembering, you are an adult, capable, responsible at work. So you are capable at home too. Husband looked at the list and for the first time really saw an absurd amount. All this? All this for 16 years. How do you manage? I don't. That's why I'm in therapy. That's why I have panic attacks. That's why I cry every day after you go to sleep. I don't manage. I just survive. Husband took a pen, marked half. I take responsibility for this. Completely? Completely. Without me remembering? Without you remembering. And if you don't, then we'll have a different conversation about whether this marriage still works. The first week was disastrous. Husband took over making dinner 3 times. First night, late, children hungry. Renata wanted to take over, but she breathed. Is it ready? In 20 minutes. Okay, everyone, 20 more minutes. Easy? No. Children complaining, Renata anxious, but she persevered. Dinner was ready, late, simple, but it was ready. Second night, better. Third, even better. He also took over taking son to soccer Saturdays. First time, forgot his uniform. Son complained. Mom always remembers. Renata, far away, didn't interfere. Husband returned, got the uniform. They were late, but they went. And son learned. Fathers also forget. Fathers also make mistakes. Fathers too. He's human. And humanity generates compassion. What perfection, it doesn't. The children resisted too, accustomed to their mother doing everything. Mom, where's my sock? Renata, in your room or in the drawer, look. But I can't find it. Then look better or use another one. Mom, son, you're 10 years old. You can find your sock by yourself. I trust you. The son grumbled, but he looked. He found it, and he realized he could do it by himself. Middle daughter, Mom, can you help me with my homework? Ask Dad. Today is his day. But he doesn't know. Ask him. He does know. And if he doesn't, research it. Together. That way you'll learn. Together. Daughter went. Reluctant. Husband tried. He failed. They researched. Together. They learned. Together. And connection, which didn't exist, began to exist. Because connection is born from time, and time is born from presence, and presence is born from responsibility, not from choice, but from necessity, shared. But Renata struggled, with guilt, enormous, constant. I'm a bad mother. I'm a bad wife. I should do it myself. The therapist confronted her. Why? Because I feel better. Better for whom? For them. And for you? Silence. Renata, doing everything, it's not love, it's control. And control comes from fear. Fear of not being necessary. And if you're not necessary, you have no value. But here's the truth. Your value isn't in what you do. It's in who you are. And who you are is dying under a mountain of things to do. And if you continue, you will disappear completely. And then, who will love you? Your family? A ghost of you? Or you, real, present, alive? Renata cried. But what if I stop and they don't need me anymore? Then you find out if they love you or love what you do. And if it's second, you deserve more. You always deserved. 3 months later, Renata realized something unexpected. She had time. Not much, but she had it. An hour a day, sometimes 2. And she didn't know what to do because her entire identity was based on serving. And without serving, who was she? She tried reading. Strange, but good. She tried walking. Alone. Liberating. She tried just sitting and doing nothing. terrifying at first, but then peaceful. And peace was a feeling forgotten, but welcome, deeply welcome. She also realized family functioned without her, doing everything. Husband cooked, not gourmet, but edible. Children managed, not perfectly, but they managed. And the house? The house was more messy, less organized, less perfect, but more alive, because perfection kills life, and imperfect life is better than dead perfection. But there was a difficult moment. Her husband traveled for work for a week, and Renata went back to her old routine, doing everything alone. And on the third day, she realized she was exhausted again, and the children had regressed, asking for everything, doing nothing. 1 week was enough to return to the old ways, and Renata panicked. Everything we built was an illusion? Her therapist calmed her down. No, it was progress, and progress has relapses. You went back to the familiar under pressure, because the familiar is comfortable, even if it's destructive. But here's the difference. Before, you didn't see the problem. Now you do, and seeing is the first step to change again. Her husband returned. Renata confronted him. I regressed, and you weren't even here, and I realized change can't depend on you being present. It needs to be structural, permanent, independent of circumstance, and they rebuilt a stronger, clearer, more sustainable system. 1 year after the initial conversation, brutal, honest, necessary, Renata took stock. Family wasn't perfect, but it was more collaborative, more present. She didn't do everything, but she contributed half or less than half. It was sustainable. Everything wasn't. Her husband had learned not just to do, but to see what needed to be done. And he did it, without being reminded, most of the time. And most of the time, it was enough. Perfection wasn't the goal. The children had grown, not just in age, but in ability. They did chores, took care of themselves, helped at home. Not perfectly, but consistently. And Renata had returned to living, not just to surviving. She had hobbies, friends, time for herself. And herself, it was a priority, finally. Not the only one, but a priority. And priority changed everything. Renata looked back and saw 16 years being invisible, essential, exhausted, and she asked herself, why did I endure so long? And the answer came clear, painful, true. Because I thought that love was sacrifice, that a good mother was a martyr, that a good wife was a servant. And all those beliefs were wrong. Love is partnership. A good mother teaches, doesn't serve. A good wife collaborates, doesn't disappear. And I disappeared for 16 years. And when I reappeared, I was afraid of not being recognized. But I was. Not immediately, but eventually. And recognition was worth every moment. Difficult of reconstruction. Important notice. If you're exhausted from being the only one, seek help. A therapist, support groups, understanding friends. Call 1-88-CVV if you need to talk, because chronic exhaustion kills, slowly, but it kills, and you deserve to live, not just survive. Stop, breathe, and answer, honestly. When was the last time you sat there and did nothing? He didn't rest by doing something, literally nothing. If you don't remember, you are where Renata was, dying of love for family who don't see you dying. Do it today. Sit down with your family and say exactly this. I love you all, deeply, but I'm exhausted of being the only one who cares about the house, about the routine, about everything, and that needs to change. Not because I don't love you, but because love shouldn't kill the one who loves. And then, silence. Let the phrase sink. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn, to share without guilt, to ask without shame, to live without dying inside. Comment here. You're the only one who holds it all together? What do you do that no one sees? Don't be ashamed. There are thousands like you, invisible, exhausted, dying of love. Share with that woman who does everything alone, always, and is disappearing under responsibilities that should be shared. See you next time, and until then, share, demand, live, because love that kills you isn't love, it's prison. Beautiful, but prison nonetheless. Let's name it. What Renata went through. Disproportionate mental load. You don't just do, you think, plan, manage, remember, everything alone. And mental load, it's invisible, but devastating. Studies show that women perform 65% of domestic work and 85% of the mental workload even when they work full-time outside the home. Research from 2022 in France showed that a disproportionate mental workload increases the risk of depression by 73%, anxiety by 67%, and burnout by 80%. Why? Because thinking for everyone, constantly, without pause, without recognition, is exhausting, profoundly, unsustainably. And the worst part? Society has normalized it. Women can endure more. Mothers are strong. Wives are resilient. No, women, mothers, wives are human, and humans have limits, and Renata's limit had been reached. But she didn't break. She rebuilt, with pain, with struggle, with courage to demand a fair division of responsibility that should have always been shared. Here is the truth that sets you free. You are not strong because you can endure everything. You are human because you have limits, and limits are not weakness, they are wisdom. If you are exhausted from being alone, start today. List, divide, demand, and maintain even when they try to go back to the old ways. Because it was old, it was unsustainable, and new is scary, but possible, and possible is better than impossible, any day, always. We're here, seeing you finally, because invisibility is over today. Take care of yourself, sharing, not carrying, because carrying alone isn't love, it's self-destruction, and you deserve more. You always have.